Howdy folks, and welcome back. Now that it's winter, it's no better time for smoking and curing meats. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you an in-depth demonstration on how I cure and smoke my meats. So let's give you a rundown on the ingredients that we have in front of us. First up here, this is some lovely pork belly. And this is prime cuts for bacon. See the lovely layers, just give you a close-up on there. It's perfect. Not too much fat and right quantity of meat, and the marbling is where it needs to be. And next up, this is just some spicy chorizo. These go lovely in the smoker as well. Also, this is going to be a first for me. These are some duck breasts, and I'm going to be attempting to make a duck prosciutto. So it's just some beef vaccio, also another first for me. I thought if you can cure pork, let's see what cured beef is going to be like. Basically, I'm going to be curing it the same way as I do the pork belly, and we'll be smoking it the same way, and let's see how they turn out. The remaining ingredients are this dark brown sugar, cooking salt, some cracked black pepper, and a couple of herbs from my garden, rosemary and bay. Okie dokie, to start it off, we'll make the dry rub mix. So first goes in goes the salt, then the dark brown sugar. These are equal parts, they're 1 kilo each, and that should be sufficient for the amount of meat I'm smoking. We've got 8 kilos of bacon and 1.5 kilos of the vaccio. And this is about 100 grams of cracked black pepper. And we'll just work that through just to get it evenly mixed before we rub it into the meat. So the purpose of this dry rub mixture is just to lightly cure the meat. There are various ways of curing it, but I find some of them to be very salty, and this has worked well for me in the past. Okay, so that's how I want it to be. Let's start working it into the meat. Just massage it in. Okie dokie. So now that we've worked the dry rub mix into the pork quite nicely, next part is I'm going to put a couple of pieces into a vacuum sealed bag. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to be bringing these home, as my smoker is at home, but I have very limited space in my fridge, and this is just an easier way to store it because they'll fit nicely in the fridge. Otherwise I would have just left it in the tray and let it cure overnight. Put a bit more rub in there. Set this one aside and get the next lot. But with the beef, I'm going to be adding a few of these herbs just to give it a bit of an extra aromatic kick. So I break up a couple of bay leaves into a pestle and mortar. Strip the rosemary in there as well. Just pound this up a little bit. Just get those oils out so they break up a little bit. Love that smell. Alrighty, with the duck I'm going to cure it a little bit differently. And just cake it with a bit of this rock salt. Now the idea of this is I just wanted to give it a light cure because we don't want it too salty, and this is going to go in these vacuum seal bags overnight. Tomorrow what we're going to do is wash off the cure and then into the smoker they go. Just put a few of these herbs on there as well. A bit of added flavour and into the bag. Bit more salt onto the skin. That should be ready to seal. That should achieve the really good curing results. And then we'll take these back to my house where the smoker is, hang them up and give them a good blast in the smoker. Alright, so we'll be right back. So the meat's been curing overnight and they are looking very ready I'll just bring it in for a close-up there. So the next part of the process is I'm just going to be hanging these up into the smoker just while we wait for our coal fire to heat up a little bit. Also with this, a lot of people, what they do is they also rinse off the brine. Alright, so these are the duck prosciutto and they're looking quite lovely. All that rock salt I mentioned, that's all just going to fall off. Most of it's fallen off already as I'm hanging it. And these bits of herbs, I'll just leave them on. And to me, that's looking sensational already. Alright, pop these at the back here somewhere. So that's all the meat there hanging up already. It's looking very sensational, good enough to eat already. That's the chorizo there. I've got room to hang up a few more things which I'll probably gradually add to the repertoire that's already in here. Just down here we have a little charcoal fire because the idea of this is basically it's a cold smoke. This doesn't cook the meat, it only cures it and preserves it. And what I use as a smoker is basically, this is just tree bark from a eucalyptus tree, and it's inexpensive, it's free, and it works quite lovely. So for all of you people that are into smoking cold meats and that, give this a go. I highly recommend it. And so what I'll do now is just put a few of these bits of bark onto the fire, and the smoke should rise very quickly. So that's pure food alchemy happening right there. Nothing like a combination of meat, salt and smoke, which makes absolutely magical products. Now, I'm going to close this up and let it do its thing. We'll periodically check on it to add more coal to the fire and more tree bark. But this is going to be a 24-hour smoke. We'll leave it overnight. Righto folks, so the bacon's been smoking away for a bit over 24 hours now. Let's have a look inside, see what they're like. Oh, a bit smoky there. Bring in for a close-up. I'll just take one now, we'll have a closer look at it. Okay, so that's a piece of the bacon there. As you can see on close up, it's firmed up a little bit, it's dried out quite nicely, and it's got a lovely golden colour on the outside from the smoke and the brine. Now the next step is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this finish smoking. I'll let that fire burn out, and then we'll continue to hang these for another couple of weeks. After that they should be ready. So I'll end this video as part one of a two-part series, and in the next video we'll sample the bacon and see how it tastes. Also I have a sensational recipe that I plan to cook for you guys, so stay tuned for that. Until the next video, bye for now.